from the Loftus party. This week, I want to talk about the press. I want to talk about freedom of the press and this so-called attack on the free press. Okay, so that's what's coming up. Do me a favor, click like, click subscribe. That way you won't miss anything. All right, so of everybody who thinks, oh my gosh, we're going to lose the press. We're going to lose the free press. There it goes. Shut up. Slow down. The free press isn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I know that members of the press are like, he's coming after us. He's coming. They're surrounding the building with tanks. I don't know how we're going to get out of here alive. If we don't print lies, it's not happening. It's not happening. Now, there's a couple people in the press that want you to think it is, because those people want their own show. So it's all drama, drama, drama. And that is what the problem is. We live in a world now where journalists can't keep themselves out of the story. They can't keep their personal politics out of the story. And when you can't do that, you're not a journalist. You're not. You're an opinion maker. That's all you ever want to be. See, and that's the big problem right there. We don't have a lot of real journalists around. We don't. Americans aren't afraid of bad news. We aren't afraid of the real news. But what we don't like is being led around by our nose, which is what the press has been trying to do. You can't objectively convince me that every Republican president is the devil himself, and that's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always been. Like Reagan was the devil, and he was a fascist, and then Bush was the evil, and then Bush, and then Trump, he's the worst of them all. And every day, you've got a brand new story about how this is the end, and now you've got him, and this is the end, from some bullshit anonymous source, and then the story ends up not being real, and it ends up going away. Okay? That's fake news. That's fake news. Now, congratulations, you got a bunch of people freaked out. Like Trump derangement syndrome is like a real thing. I don't think they're calling it that. They're calling it something else. But you've got a lot of people very afraid. So if you can't take yourself out of the story, you're not a journalist. And this is the problem. Now you've got a bunch of journalists, and they love it. They love the drama of it. They really do. You've got people on TV going, hey, it's my job as a journalist to ask the president the tough questions. It's my job as a journalist to ask the president the tough questions. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you were asleep at the switch for 8 years. You guys are like, oh boy, the Obama administration, that was awesome. That was just tiptoe through the tulips. No, there was a lot of bad crap going on. There was gun running going on. The IRS was being weaponized. There were shenanigans in the FBI. There was reporters being, Cheryl Atkinson being hacked, and James Rosen being hacked, and there was all kinds of crap. And you didn't care. You looked the other way because you liked Obama. You liked him and you wanted him to succeed. Pallets of cash going off to Iran. You didn't care. You didn't care. You didn't care. So now Trump is in and you want him to fail. You desperately want this guy. So you're going to get him. You're going to get him. And that's why people are turning you off and they're not listening. At some point, you got to take a step back. You got to take a step back and just report the facts, and everything is going to be fine. But right now, you're out to get somebody, and Americans are so smart. You guys, Americans are so smart, and we can smell it a million miles away. We know that you've got a boner for taking Trump down. That's it. That's why the BBC is the most trusted, and then Fox is the most trusted. Ding, ding. BBC and Fox. That has to drive them crazy. That has to drive them crazy. But that's the way it is. All right, so no one's trying to shut down newspapers. No one's trying to shut down radio stations. The only thing I remember seeing recently is Facebook kicking off conservatives, and Twitter kicking off conservatives, and YouTube. Like, listen. You got to start asking yourself, like, what is this fair? And then people go, well, YouTube is a private company, and Facebook is a private company. And like I'm no huge fan of InfoWars, but like, what did that guy do? What did he do? Tell me specifically what that guy did to get non-personed by Facebook. I think it's bogus. Anyway, no one's gonna. We're always gonna have freedom of the press, and the more we have to endure these little oopsie daisies by reporters, and that's all it's been. It's like, oh my gosh, Trump moved the Martin Luther King statue. That's the first thing he did. He's a racist. He moved it, and they reported that, and then they're like, oops, correction. There was a guy standing in front of it we didn't see. Like, there's a cajillion of those little mistakes. Oh, we got this email. We got this email that shows that he's bad, bad, bad. Oops. I got the date wrong. I'll make a correction. And you're like, we always correct our mistake. How many of these mistakes did you make under Obama? How many? I'm guessing like a big fat 0. And of all these mistakes, these innocent little mistakes that you've made against Don, how many have gone his way? How many? Like, oh, the GDP is 5.1. Oopsie, it's 4.1. Still good for the president. No. You've got an agenda. You're in the story. Get out. Get out. You are in the forest, and evidently you hate the forest and you hate these flippin' trees. So maybe you need to just step back. Go back to some kind of journalism school. Hopefully in Britain, because that's where they teach the people at the BBC. Frankly, I don't even trust the BBC that much. I just think it's weird. As Americans, we inherently trust people with English accents. If someone says something to you like this, you tend to believe them. So, this is Michael Loftus for the Loftus Party. This has been my video. We need a free and open press. I sound like C-3PO. Help us, free and open press. You are our only hope. Take yourself out of the story, R2. All right, I'll see you guys next week. I might start doing more videos. I might start doing 2 a week. I'm not promising. Don't get mad at me. It might be 2 weeks. Peace out.